This is the first episode of How Do You. It's going to be a series of how you can do stuff around the house, with your vehicle, anything in life. The first thing we're going to talk about is how to change your own oil in your vehicle. Things that I'm going to cover are change the oil, change the filter, put new oil in. Not every vehicle is going to be the exact same, but this general concept should work for you as well for your vehicle. If you have any questions or comments or better ways that I can do this, please feel free to share in the comments. Also, if you like this video, I would greatly appreciate a like and subscribe. Without further ado, I'm going to go into the video. I mumble and not very clear, so I've used a little bit of AI to kind of explain the different steps, but it's my thoughts and information.
Things you are going to need: oil, oil filter, wrench, oil filter wrench, drain pan, funnel, gloves and rags. If you are not sure how much oil your engine takes, refer to your owner's manual. Your owner's manual should be found in your glove box or your center console. In the index of the manual you can easily find what section covers the fluid capacities. There you will find out how much oil your vehicle requires. You can also reference any other fluids your vehicle takes. Another great resource you can use ahead of time is the internet to get the supplies that you need. Any store or site that sells auto parts typically will have what you should be looking for. On most of these sites you also will be able to put in your specific vehicle information. This is important so you get the correct oil filter for your specific vehicle. Also, you can compare prices and find out who has the best price on oils. If you are not sure what weight of oil to get, I will cover that shortly and where you can find that information for your vehicle. One more tool you can use from the internet is to find out what size of wrench you will need for your drain plug. For my vehicle I know that it takes a 12mm bolt. But that is not the size of wrench I will need. I found out that not all drain plug manufacturers use the same size of bolt head. As you can see, mine comes in either a 15mm or a 13mm. This helps me narrow down what size of wrench I'll need while I am under my vehicle. This also can be helpful if you are new to vehicle maintenance and need to purchase the right tools ahead of time. First you will need to locate the hood release latch inside the driver's side. Pull on it to pop the hood. Next, you will need to locate the safety release on the front of the vehicle. This can be located behind the front emblem or under the hood at the front. The red arrows indicate these areas. After the hood is open, you need to locate the oil filler cap. You will want to remove this during the oil change to help the oil flow out faster. Here is where you can typically find what your oil weight is. As an example of what you are looking for, my truck is 5W30. Now that you are under the vehicle, locate the oil drain plug and the oil filter. Use your proper sized wrench and loosen the drain plug. I have learned that using the wrench from the passenger side helps to give more leverage when loosening the plug. Once the plug is loosened with the wrench, you can finger loosen the drain plug. There is no good way that I know of where you will not get chocolate syrup on your hand when the plug is all the way out. After all the oil has drained out, return the plug to its home and tighten it back up with a wrench. Do not put it on too tight. Now you will focus on the oil filter. We are going to loosen it, so we can replace it with our new filter. Once the filter is broken free while using the wrench, I will use my hand to loosen the filter enough for the oil above it to start coming out. I will leave the old filter alone until the oil has slowed down dripping, then I will finish by completely unscrewing it and placing it in the drain pan. I will also check and make sure the oil filter gasket stayed attached to the filter and not the engine. As you can see, I remembered to wear a glove for this part. This is the new oil filter. Every vehicle is different, so make sure you get the correct filter for your vehicle. This filter is also specific to the type of oil I am using. The box that the filter comes in typically will have instructions on it for installing the new filter. Follow those instructions. Take some of the new oil and lubricate the new filter gasket. I will also fill up the filter about 3/4 the way up with new oil before installing it. Install the new filter where you removed the old one from. Again, do not over-tighten. After that is done, clean up any spills and all your tools and equipment from underneath the vehicle. Now you are going to put the new oil into the engine. On the side of this 5-quart jug it has markings for quarts and liters. Make sure you are paying attention and follow the correct side for the amount you are putting in your engine. You will pour the oil into the filler location where you removed the cap earlier. I am using a funnel to help from making a mess. Check your dipstick when you are close, or have the full amount of oil poured in. The dipstick typically has a yellow handle and is a long flexible metal rod. Newer vehicles have sensors and can tell you if you are low on oil, but this is the best way you can check for yourself if you are low or have too much oil in the engine. It is possible to have too much oil, so you want to make sure and check this before starting your engine. After you are done putting the right amount of oil in the engine, put the filler cap back on, clean up all your tools from under the hood and you can close it up.
After I close the hood, I'll typically pull the vehicle out of the garage. I'll let it run for about 10 minutes, and then I will turn it off, check the oil again, and see where we're at and if I need to add any oil or not. This way, the oil gets kind of pushed around inside the engine and area, and you're able to make sure you have the right amount in there. Also, another pointer, and I kind of emphasize it, but I want to emphasize it again, you do not need to put that oil filter on there super tight. I used to do that. I'm not going to anymore. But when I would hand tighten it up, I would use my oil filter wrench and I'd tighten it up pretty snug. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to have any leaks there. Then it was always a pain to get it off. As you can kind of see in the video, I kind of struggled with it and I had to shut it off and do it off camera. It does not need to be super tight. Follow those instructions and you'll have a much easier time the next time that you take that filter off there. Some people explained that to me, took it with advice, and so that's kind of what this channel's about, giving each other advice and helping each other out to make life and make things better. Again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Any comments, any suggestions, please feel free to share them. Thank you. This is the first episode on How Do You. We're going to talk about rustling papers and making it sound like you can't hear me. This is the first episode of How Do You. Today we're going to talk about how to change your own vehicle. And change your own vehicle? What? This is the first episode of How Do You. Today we're going to discuss about. What does that even mean, discuss about? After I'm done changing the oil, I'll typically... nope, I won't. So after I close the hood, I'll typically pull the car out of the garage. I'll run it for about 10-15 minutes, turn it off, and then check. After I'm done changing the oil, I